Hello, my subscribers. Welcome to another video here on Jamaican Chapter. I am Nigel D. Salmon. In this video, I'm coming to you from the community of Grange Hill in Westmoreland. And I am here at the Holy Trinity Anglican Church, which everybody simply called Grange Hill Anglican Church. And I will be doing what I do as always in these videos. I will be exploring the history of the cemetery here. It's my first time here in Grange Hill. So, and of course, I'm doing YouTube, so I'll travel all over. I'll travel all over, you know, getting into the histories across Jamaica. So let's start and get into the history of the Grange Hill Anglican Church here in Westmoreland. All right, so let's head over onto the grounds of the church. I don't know the history of this church. Before starting to record, I was trying to get in contact with their number, but it's just not, the number just not working. I did get through, but I don't know, I can't get through again, so I don't know. So I have to start recording. So we're at the Grange Hill Anglican Church. And like with all Anglican church, you'll find cemeteries. Woo. Sun is hot right now. Sun is really, really hot. Here in the front of the church, we have some graves here. We have some graves. And we'll start here with this one. This says, sacred to the memory of Cecil Adolphus Stewart, who departed this life 27th April 1958, age 50. So that's Cecil Adolphus Stewart. He died at age 50 on April 27, 1958. These graves look like they are related. I can see that they share the same last names. So it's likely they could be husband and wife. This says, in loving memory of Ida May Curlew. I'm sure I'm spelling it right. Curlew. So Ida May Curlew, the devoted mother and grandmother, November 13, 1892 to November 26, 1977. So she was born in 1892 and she died in 1977. So she was about what, 85? And this is her husband. I'm not gonna even guess. I'm sure. It says in loving memory of James Walker Curlew, devoted father and grandfather. And remember over there, devoted mother and grandmother. So here we have devoted father and grandfather. He was born September 25, 1882 and died April 18, 1975. So he died like about 2 years before his wife over there, Ida. So these are Ida and James. This grave has nothing on it. This one has nothing. That one over there has nothing either. Here we come to a grave with something. It's designed the same way as that one over there. But that one over there lost its headstone. Not sure if it was stolen, because I don't think it could just get up and move by itself. But it's designed very similar to this one. So who knows? They could have been husband and wife, huh? Alright, this belongs to, say, in loving memory of a devoted husband, father, and brother, Albert Clinton Buckner. Buckner. Bucknor. Buckner. Born 6th December 1928. Died 29th March 1973. So he was born in 1928 and he died in 1973. So, know what that means? He was young. He was about 45 years old. No, or maybe 44. The 6th of December 1928 to the 29th of March 1973. So he was in his 40s when he died. Albert Clinton Buckner. Alright, we're at the grave of Seymour Dalton Vaxiana. May 24, 1945 to May 24, 2012. So he died on his birthday. And also we see Martha Samuels, nee Lewis. March 8, 1914 to June 29, 2010. So there are two names here. That of Seymour Dalton Vaxiana and Martha Samuels. And you go over here. Alright, so right beside that grave that I just read, I see a grave with two names on it. Veronica Eslyn Hewlin nee Vaxiana, born December 2, 1946, died September 30, 2008. So this is probably the sister of Seymour. Seymour was born in 1948. She was born in 1946. So they're likely that they were brothers and sisters. And then there's another name there, Mary Elizabeth Vaxiana. This is probably the mother, her mother. Anyway, Mary was born in 1914 and she died on December 4, 2008. So this is what I think is happening here. Mary Elizabeth Vaxiana is the mother of Veronica and the mother of Seymour Vaxiana over there. Yeah. Here we are at the grave of, say, in loving memory of Claude Vaxiana. Claude Vaxiana, born 1914, died 1963. So Claude, yeah, Claude was born in 1914, and Elizabeth over there was born in 1914. So, but the Vaxianas here, they are families. These three graves, 1, 2, 3. Vaxianas, they are family. Here we are at the grave of, how do I pronounce that? Algernon. Algernon M. Walton. Died October 26, 1970. So that's Algernon M. Walton. Way back in 1970, October 26, 1970. That's a long time you have died, Mr. Walton. So I say, in loving memory of our dear daughter, Winsome H. Robinson, Hopi. So she was called Hopi, Winsome Robinson. Died September 25, 1965, age 3 years old. Are you sure that's 3? Okay, this grave is a grave of a 3-year-old child. Well, that's what I saw. I'll just have to look up the death registration. I'm going to look up the death registration form because it says Winsome Robinson and she was called Hopi. And that's 3, age 3. Died September 25, 1965, age 3. Grave look a little adult to me. Over here we see James Campbell. James Campbell. Died the 5th of April, 1973, and he was born in 1906. James Campbell, 5th of April, 1973. They are painting your grave up, James. They remember you. In loving memory of Ethelyn Eulalie Campbell, Nee Cotterell, 1910 to 2017. Oh my God. Oh my word. This grave looks nice. It's leaning. Everything is leaning. It must have been here for a very long time. Let me see who it belongs to. It's all grilled up. So this is the grave of, say, sacred to the memory of our dear niece, Ethelyn Nad Jeda Clark. Ethelyn Clark died July 26, 1961, age 36. So Ethelyn was just 36 years old when she died on July 26, 1961. This is the grave. It says, sacred to the memory of Glendon Hall, born the 4th of June 1917, died the 28th of May 1967. And it's also grilled around. This is all falling down, but it can still be read. Says, to the memory of Edith E. Sterling, who died on the 23rd of February. That looked like 1946. Piece of it looked like it's a 46. Long time ago. Very long time ago. In loving memory of Anne Elizabeth Tullis, died on the 17th of March 1926. That's a long time ago too. And beside her is Ursalina Sterling, died the 15th of July 1922 in her 68th year. This is not gonna be a long video. I don't want this to be a long video at all. I don't want it to be a long video. So I'm gonna deliberately skip some graves as I read into the history here at Grange Hill Anglican Church on a hot Friday. We have 4 graves here, and I'm gonna read them. This one says let me see if I can get inside. I'm gonna see if I can get inside. This is the gate. Right? Very heavy gate. It says, in loving memory of Fred M. Whitlock, that surname right there, Whitlock. In loving memory of Fred M. Whitlock. I really have to check the spelling later. Son of Helen Campbell. That's Campbell. Campbell or Campbell. Son of Helen Campbell and the Honorable Hugh Anthony Whitlock. Okay, so he was a son. Say he was born October 1859 and died May 1922. Okay, so he was about 60. Was about 62 or maybe 61 years old. Fred Whitlock. Okay, so after a careful check of the name, it is pronounced Whitelock. Whitelock. When you're that old, they usually don't say the son of anybody, you know. But who knows? Over here, we say in loving memory of Helen Gertrude Taylor, wife of F.W. Taylor, at rest. And nothing else. Nothing about when she was born, when she died. They just emphasize her name and that she was the wife of F.W. Taylor. Here it says, in loving memory of Gertrude Henslow, beloved wife of Fred M. Whitlock. As I say, I don't know if it's Whitlock, so I'm just going to call it Whitelock or Whitlock. Whitelock. Born 9th of April 1883, died 16th September 1945. And the last one here is Leslie, in loving memory of Leslie Wilmot Stewart Whitlock, son of Frederick and Gertrude Whitlock. That's Gertrude over there. That's Gertrude over there. So this is her son. And he was born 1901 and died 1955. It's a nice little family plot here. It's a nice little family plot here. I am at the tomb of Dr. A.C. Hayden. This is his grave. It says, sacred to the memory of Dr. A.C. Hayden, MD, which means medical doctor. Alright, so I'm going to read this straight through. It says, sacred to the memory of Dr. A.C. Hayden, MD, physician and surgeon, member of parliament who entered his eternal rest on September 27, 1971, in his 70th year. So he was 70 years old when he died. And at the bottom they say, for even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve and to give up his life a ransom for many. So this is the tomb of Dr. A.C. Haydon, physician, surgeon, member of parliament here in Jamaica. Right beside the church here, close to the wall, we have the grave of Peter Samuel Sankey. It reads, "In memory of our dear father, Peter Samuel Sankey, who died August 1928, age 68 years old." So he was 68 years old in 1928 when he died. Peter Samuel Sankey. The graves that closer to the church are very old. Some of them have no writings on them because either you got rubbed off or the headstone got destroyed or things like that. And I am in front this lovely, sturdy monument here. Tomb. It says, "In loving memory of Alison Gertrude, daughter of Henry and Alison Clark, born 18 January 1888, died 12 May 1888. Oh, so this is a child's day. This is a child. And her name is Alison Gertrude Clark because her mother and father's surname is Clark. So it's Alison Gertrude Clark. Born the 18th of January 1880, died the 12th of May 1880. So this is the grave of a child. Seemed to be the only one buried here. It looked as if they had made space for someone else here, but there's nothing there. Only little Alison is resting here. And look at this one. Let's see if how many graves are in there. I'm not seeing anything. So who knows? Maybe little Alison have her parents there, and they're just not, the headstone not there. I don't know. But this one, I don't see anything in here. Either they're overgrown with grass, but I don't see anything. But I know there are bodies buried there. And in front it says, "To the memory of John Eddy Tullis, MD, of Morgan's Bridge, born 1811, and that's July 14, 1811. Died 1862, and that would be November 18 of 1862. They write it very peculiar, you know. So he was born July 14, 1811, and he died November 18, 1862. That's a young man anyway. So he was about 51 years old, huh? Or 50, I don't know. And they also have some other names of those who are buried in here. It says Alison Rankin Tullis, widow of the above. Okay, so Alison Rankin Tullis is the widow of John Eddie Tullis. Alison Rankin Tullis, widow of John Eddie Tullis. She was born 1832, and that's December 8, 1832, and she died March 22 of 1901. So she lived a pretty long time after the death of her husband in 1862. And then they say also of John Robert Tullis, eldest son of the above. So John Robert Tullis is the firstborn son of Alison and John. So he was born December 23, 1860, and died December 11, 1863. So John died like 1 year after his father John up here, because his father John Tullis died 1862 and he died 1863. So what we have here is a father, mother, and son. The father died in 1862, the son died in 1863, and the mother died 1901. They're all buried here, but I'm not seeing anything. It's not like their graves are all overgrown. All right, so I saw the church on the internet before I came here. And when I come here, it seems as if the church had suffered some damage, most likely due to Hurricane Beryl, which recently passed across Jamaica. I can see some, whatever they call this, that they put it up to go on top to fix it. Part of the roof had all collapsed in. You won't see this, of course, when you look at the church on the internet. That's the good times. Some of the windows are all leaked out. You can see inside the church here. You know. And see some of the the part of the top of the church is gone. And that's due to Hurricane Beryl. No doubt, this Hurricane Beryl did all this damage to the church. So I don't think they have church going on now. Today is a Friday. You're going to have Sunday. And I'm sure if they have church in there, they probably would be cleaning up inside, huh? Near to the church here, we have the grave of, it says, in ever-loving memory of our beloved daughter and sister, B. Carrion Thomas. Born November 23, 1976. Died November 2, 1978. Oh, that's a little young girl. 1976 to 1978. Wow, that's young. So he He was almost 2 years old. And below it they say, "This way, not mine, O Lord." So Carrie Ann Thomas was only 1 year and some months. 21 more days and she would have been 2 years old. 2 years old. So this is the grave of a young girl. A young girl who could have been alive today, because 1976 to 2000, that would be 24 and 24, 48. So she would be about 48 years old if she had made it and not died so young. Here we are at the grave of the Honorable James McLean Thompson. James Thompson. June 3, 1915 to June 22, 2014. The Honorable James McLean Thompson. Beside him must be his wife. I assume this is his wife. This is in loving memory of Elithia Elizabeth Thompson, or Thompson. May 26, 1927 to October 22, 2011. Faithful wife and mother. The souls of the righteous are in the hand of God. So this is likely the wife of James Thompson. Grange Hill Branch Library over there. Grange Hill Branch Library. I thought Grange Hill was like there's a little community and not much happening here. But you'll be surprised to know there's so many things here. Look at this grave. It's all covered in trees and it's buried close to the church, so it has to be the grave of somebody considered important. But those operating the church, like, they didn't make any effort to ensure that this grave, remain visible, noticeable regarding who's buried there. This is also another grave. It's buried partially into the church. Look at that. It's buried partially into the church. Like the foot out here and the head is all the way under there. This person must have wanted to be buried like this. Let me see. It has the head plate. It has the plate on it with the name. So let me see what I can get from it. It says Annie Potter, who died at Grotto in this parish July 23rd, 1871, age 66 years. Annie Potter. So she died July 23rd, 1871, age 66. I wonder why they buried her like this. She must have been a very religious woman. And of course, it was a different thinking at that time in 1871. Different people, different thinking. And it has to be of some significance that they would bury her like this, with part of her grave up inside the church. Here we have two more graves. One cannot be read, but this one can. This is the tomb of Reverend Windsor Gascoigne. Sunrise, 17 of the 11, 32, that will be 1932. Sunset, 9 of the 5, 1998. He was a reverend. And there is a grave right down there, all by itself. My camera will show it a little now because the thing I used to stabilize the camera, the battery run down. Fancy things, boy. Okay, here we are at the grave of someone here. It says, in loving memory of a devoted mother, Emily Lucille Capon. C-A-P-O-N. Capon. She was born the 4th February 1858. Died the 14th July 1946. And the bottom it says, I believe in God. Emily Lucille Capone. Beside her here, I saw something. I don't know what that is. If it was meant to be, I think it was a grave there. I don't know. I don't see anything inside there. But it must have been a grave. This is the back of the church. This church really needs some serious repairing. Because I assume burial did it really bad. That brings into question the whole role that people say that God plays. Let me get my umbrella here. The whole role that people say God play in natural disasters. Oh, you know, there's an earthquake. Oh, it's God. There's a hurricane. Oh, it's God. Really? Because if it was God who was deciding to destroy, then why is it that the church, the roof of a church was destroyed? Why is it that Christians, sinners, you know, rapists, murderers, good guy, sweet guy, nice lady, everybody gets affected by a natural disaster? Which means that natural disasters have nothing to do with God. Nothing at all. Because God would have taken some caution not to destroy the good people, huh? But when there's a hurricane, whether you're religious or not, you're going to be affected, huh? Here we have some graves here. Look at them, lay row by row down. And in this section, we have the... Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check with Google and see if I can pronounce this surname, because there are many graves here with this surname. Whitlock. All right, so I went and I checked on Google, and it's pronounced Whitelock. Whitelock. All right, so now I'm ready to read about these Whitelocks buried here. So here we have the grave of Olive Beatrice Louise Whitelock, third daughter of Edward and Susan Whitelock. Born the 19th of the 2, 1896. Died the 19th of the 5, 1977. And there's another name on the same. You say, and Ernest Bulstrode Whitelock, eldest son. So he would be the eldest son of Edward and Susan Whitelock. He was born the 27th of the 1, 1902. Died the 28th of the 11, 1978. Why does it look so blurry on the screen? All right, so we have there buried the remains of Olive Beatrice Louise Whitelock and Ernest Bulstrode Whitelock. They are brother and sister. Beside them, it says, this one says, sleeping in memory of Edith Irene Whitelock, who died 1976, eldest and beloved daughter of Edward and Susan Whitelock. That's the same Edward and Susan Whitelock. You see, at rest, in loving memory of Blanche Coralie Gwendolyn Whitelock, who died March 22nd, 1968, beloved daughter of Edward and Susan Whitelock of Westmoreland. And below the middle one there is another one, right down at the bottom, and it says, also Muriel Vivian Whitelock, fourth daughter, who died the 6th of July, 1979. All right, so let me continue with the Whitelock. All right, hold on. So these more than three, actually four, children here are children of Edward and Susan Whitelock. And behind them are the graves of Edward and Susan. Here we have the grave of Edward. His full name is Thomas Edward Whitelock. And he was born in March 1865, and he died February 6, 1930. 1939. So this is the father, Thomas Edward Whitelock. And over there is the grave of Susan, the mother. So here is Susan's grave, the mother. It says, in loving memory of our dear mother, Susan Whitelock, the beloved wife of Edward, who died 24th November 1951, age 83. So this is Susan and this is Edward. His full name, Thomas Edward. And in front of them are their children. We just read a while ago. All four of them pretty young. So this is the Whitelock burial spot. And behind that we have the burial spot of another family, the Clark family. And as you can see there are 8 graves here, over there, belonging to the Clark family. So that's the burial spot of the Clark family. All right, guys, so we're in this family plot, the Clark family plot. So here we have, in loving memory of Henry Clark, who entered into rest August 4th, 1907, in the 80th year of age. He was born in Nottinghamshire, England, and came to this island in the year 1847. He was for 20 years island curate of this church, and for 22 years rector of the parish church, Savalamar. So this is Henry Clark. Beside Henry Clark, we have his wife, in loving memory of Jane, wife of Reverend Henry Clark, who died on the 19th of July, 1904, age 77 years. So Jane died something like 3 years before her husband. And it says below that also of Ida Louisa, their youngest daughter, who died the 29th of September 1872, age 7. So what this is saying is that this is in memory of Jane and their youngest daughter, who died just 7 years old on the 29th of September 1872. So you would have the husband, Henry Clark, his wife, Jane, and daughter, Ida. So in front of Henry and his wife, Jane, you have their son. Say, in loving memory of Stainton Clark of Sweet River, Westmoreland, second son of Reverend Henry Clark, died the 7th of September 1935, age 76. And beside Stanton is his wife. Say, in loving memory of Ada Marion, wife of the late Stainton Clark, Sweet River, Westmoreland, died on October 19th, 1948. So Stainton died 1935. His wife died 1948. So far we can see over there, we have the father, Henry Clark, his wife, Jane, and daughter, Ida. In front Mr. Henry Clark, we have their son. Those two over there, we have their son here, Stainton Clark, and we have Stainton's wife, Ada Clark. So in front Stainton, we have here another Clark. It says, in loving memory of Hugh William Edward Clark, son of the Reverend Henry Clark and Jane. Okay, so him here, Hugh William Clark here, is the brother of Stainton. Okay, so these two brothers, that's their father all the way back up there. So they have the father, the mother, they have this guy here and this guy's wife, and then this guy here, his brother, Hugh Edward Clark. And his wife, Ida Lee Clark, wife of Hugh Clark and daughter of Samuel Halton and Alice Morris. She was born on the 9th of October 1872, died on the 17th of June 1954. And at the foot of Hugh William Clark, we have his son. No, that's son, daughter, his daughter, Edith Clark. OBE, I don't know what OBE stands for. She was born 1896 and she died 1979. She was an anthropologist and social worker. And she was the elder daughter of Hugh William Edward Clark and his wife, Ida Morris. Okay, so she was the eldest daughter of these two people. And then below here we have Eric Hugh Clark. In loving memory of Eric Hugh Clark, 1899 to 1970. Only son of Hugh William Edward Clark and Ida Lee, his wife. So Eric Hugh Clark is the only son of that man up there, Hugh William Edward Clark, and his wife Ida, the only son. And Eric Hugh Clark is buried beside his wife. His wife is Zena Storer Clark. Say, in loving memory of Zena Storer Clark, 1907 to 1980, wife of Eric Hugh Clark and daughter of Frederick Whitelock and Gertrude, his wife. And buried at the foot of Hugh William Clark is his son, Hugh Anthony Clark. He was born June 30, 1940, and he died November 5, 2002. So you can see all of this. That's a lot of generation here, you know. Lot of generation. So you have son, father, and his wife. Then you have his father was up here, and his wife, and one of their daughters, or daughter. And behind them, behind Hugh William Edward Clark is his brother and his wife. And this brother, there is the father and his wife. So this spot is the Clark burial spot. Oh, the burial spot for the Clark's family. Here at Grange Hill Anglican Church. The rain is coming, guys, and I don't want the rain to catch me up here. So I'm going to head back now to St. Elizabeth. And as I'm leaving, I see this grave here. Say, in loving memory of my mother, A. Sant Flibin. That's the name there. In loving memory of my mother, A. Sant Flibin, who died on the 4th November 1947. And there is another grave here. There is another grave here. I'm gonna see who this is. Says, in loving memory of Harold Capel. What's that? Cahusac? Cahusac. Cahusac. So Harold Capel Cahusac. Born the 15th September 1902, died the 27th of September 1976. The church needs some repairing. Things are going really bad. You know, it looks so nice on the internet, but you come here, you can see that the church needs some fixing up. It needs some fixing up. It really does need some fixing up. I can tell you that. That's the bathroom down there.